Today we are talking about the stone known as malachite. Now it's often known for its deep green swirls and it has quite a powerful energy for it, often used for protection, healing and transformation. Now before we get any further, I'd like to remind you that I am not claiming that this stone is going to cure X, Y and Z, and that this and that is going to happen when you are using the stone. It's all potentials. And so malachite is often considered to be a copper carbonate mineral, and you can often find it in various places of the world. It's often known as a stone of transformation, and for a good reason. It's commonly associated with the planet of Venus, and in regards to astrological archetypes, it's often associated with Taurus and Scorpio. So it gives this kind of nice blend of heart-centered energy as well as also deep transformational power. Now, it is considered to be quite a high vibrational stone in the sense that it vibrates quite fast and not in a soft or subtle way. So its energy can be quite intense, quite activating, quite fast moving and transformational. And doing my research into malachite, I could see why I don't work with it very often. Each to their own, just where I'm at the moment. So it does tend to bring things quite quickly to the surface, and it's not always gentle. So these could be good aspects to consider when working with malachite. Now, when we're talking about chakras, the centers of the body that it often works mostly with, we're talking about the heart chakra here. Also can be associated with the solar plexus and also the third eye here. Now, traditionally, it's been used in its potential physical aspects that it may assist with things like the heart and circulation, the immune system, and a general detox and energy cleanser. Now, raw malachite can be quite toxic if it's handled too much, especially if it's ingested as well, which, apparently you must be able to get it in a powder form. So yeah, we don't recommend that you ingest malachite, nor should you be touching it too much as well with your skin. So handle it with your care and always wash your hands if you have touched it. Now, in regards to the emotional and mental aspects that malachite may assist with, we're looking at things like emotional release and breaking down old patterns and increasing just general self-awareness. And then when we're looking at the metaphysical aspects that malachite may assist with, things like protecting from certain energy, amplifying intentions, and encouraging transformation and growth. It's often used as an energetic shield, absorbing what doesn't serve you. Now, it can be a little delicate, so you may wish to avoid cleansing it in certain ways. We don't recommend it be cleansed in water, and especially not for long exposure. For cleansing the crystal, you want to look at other ways in which it can be cleansed, like using other crystals, moonlight, sound, so certain kinds of bells and singing bowls, and also smoke cleansing can be with incense or herbal wands with particular plants as well. Avoid salt and harsh conditions. Just want to also remind you that because it can damage the surface. Now you can find quite an array of malachite out there. Some of it is what we would consider to be more natural forming, and then you can also find what we would consider to be more man-made malachite. So I'm just going to go through a couple of different aspects to look at to be able to identify, is it a natural forming malachite or is it something that's been created in something more of a laboratory environment? So the natural malachite has more of an irregular kind of flowing band patterns and varying shades of green, and there'll be slight imperfections in the stone as well. Something that is more man-made that is malachite, you're looking at things that it's a very uniform, very repetitive patterns that are formed on the stone. There's a lot of high contrast in the stripes, like they almost look like they're printed, and it's often made from dye or resin. And if it looks too perfect, it probably is. It probably is a man-made malachite and not a natural forming one. The reason I bring that up is because a natural forming malachite is going to have a different energy than a man-made malachite. Do I need to explain that? I don't think so. So, malachite also has quite a rich history across various cultures around the world, and one of the ones that stands out that used it a lot would have been in ancient Egypt. They often associate it with protection and afterlife, and it was even ground into a pigment for eye paint, believed to ward off evil. Now, would we recommend that today? Probably not, if you're going to put that on your body, considering there is a toxic element to this stone. Whether you want to use it in a painting that's not going to be touched by anyone, that could be different. And also just like to remind you that you can work with stones and not actually have them in your physical possession. So they can be worked with through the uses of art, photography, painting, drawing, and or visualization as well. So you don't have to go around collecting all these stones, buying all these things, extracting all these minerals out of the earth. You can work with them on various levels without actually having them in your physical possession. Now, when we look at Russian folklore, you can also see some stories there of how they used to use malachite. And they had like a legend, and it was called the Mistress of the Copper Mountain. So there was a spirit said to have guarded the stone there, and it would test those who would seek it. And you can find various stories of that online as well. Now, across various traditions, it's also been used generally as a stone for protection when you're traveling. It's often used as a talisman for protecting certain energies. We spoke of that before. And also a guide for you when going through transformation. So if you've got any questions about malachite or any particular stones that you would like us to talk about in the future, leave that in the comment section below, and we will see you again soon.